Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Bollocks this evening. How are you doing, Mr. Leonard?
I am well, Blake. Nice to have a Blevins next to me, as always. I'll take you if your father can't make it. You are as good and probably more handsome.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you for the compliments, Lane. And actually, we got a lot of compliments today from our recording today and our live stream today from the ceremony for the Black History Museum down near Holmes Boulevard. So
I saw Dad out and wandering around.
Yeah, and I appreciate everyone watching our videos. We have a lot of great interviews with Susan Phillips from the VCB. We also had interviews from Greg White, State Senator Tom Leake, and County Commissioner Sarah Arnold talk about this great project. So if you haven't already, please go ahead and watch those videos already. Sure. They're already up on YouTube. They're already up on Facebook and YouTube right now. But Lenny,
you're wired in. Hey, where are we?
We are in the Beaux-Arts Ford Studio.
Thank you very much. That is correct.
Indeed. And that's a cue for Mr. Aidan McGee in the booth to press the button that shows off the fantastic Beaux-Arts Ford website.
He's got it.
Which is now my cue to say Beaux-Arts Ford Lincoln in St. Augustine. Their goal is to make sure your time and experience buying a car is stress-free, fun, and enjoyable. Beaux-Arts Ford is a family-owned Ford dealership that has been in business since 1949. Beaux-Arts Ford Lincoln has been the recipient of numerous dealer awards, including being ranked number one by Automotive. Blake Levin, say two. Numerous dealer awards, including being ranked number one automotive dealership in the nation by Dealer. Beaux-Arts Ford has also won back-to-back President's Awards, which is the highest honor given by Ford Motor Company. Check them out online today at beaux-artsford.com.
Well, if you didn't watch the show last night after we left the air at 6 o'clock, Land Title was on, and I will clear it up for you if you haven't. Because for over 30 years, Land Title of America has been St. Augustine's trusted name in title insurance and real estate closings. Locally owned by Stephen Collins, this family-run company blends personalized service with cutting-edge technology to ensure smooth, accurate closings. No call centers, no hassle. Just real people ready to answer your questions and meet you where it's most convenient. Located at 100 South Park Boulevard, or text Stephen directly at 904-501-4481. Land Title of America, your local title company insuring America's land title, one at a time.
All right. We also have the fine folks here that provide us the lights and provide us this concrete, the stucco. We have A.D. Davis.
The palace.
They have built the palace here at the A.D. Davis campus. A.D. Davis Construction. When quality matters, trust A.D. Davis Construction. North Florida's expert in high-end homes, commercial builds, renovations, and historic restorations. With over 70 years of experience, their dedicated team delivers craftsmanship you can count on and relations built on trust. They don't just build buildings, they build confidence with integrity, performance, and results that keep over 85% of their clients coming back. From concept to completion, choose A.D. Davis Construction, where your vision meets their legacy of excellence.
And if that got you a little bit hungry, then you should eat, drink, and be Irish at Meehan's Irish Pub and Seafood House, right on the waterfront in downtown St. Augustine. Whether you're craving classic corned beef and cabbage, fresh seafood from the Raw Bar, or their famous bangers and mash, Meehan's is where locals and visitors feel right at home. Grab a pint in their cozy Irish pub, unwind upstairs at Johnny's Oyster Bar with stunning views of the Matanzas River, or kick back in the backyard with tropical vibes and a Caribbean-inspired menu. The pints are cold, the food's unforgettable, and the welcome is always warm. Only at Meehan's, and what a staff they have. Enjoy.
Indeed. All right. We have other sponsors that we want to thank as well. We have A to Z Roofing and Waterproofing, Anastasia Moultrie Creek Diner, Mr. Electric of St. Augustine, Brightway Insurance, a Casey Agency, St. Augustine Pirate and Treasure Museum, Anastasia Construction Group, State Italian Restaurant, Soul Steak, A-Bear Kresge and Associates, Powell Heating and Air, and this St. Augustine Distillery, Citygate Spirits, and
Kaiser's. Go get yourself a sandwich at 4 White Street, right on the bend on Anastasia Boulevard between the Bridge of Lions and St. Augustine Beach.
All right. Thank you, indeed, Lenny. I can go and take those reads back.
You certainly can.
While I put them back on the paperclip, I want to throw it to our producer in the booth tonight, Mr. Aidan. How are you doing this evening, sir?
Doing great. First Bollocks. I'm excited. I'd like to point out earlier I was ready with the Beaux-Arts button, and you pre-fired me. I was waiting for you to do the read, and you just went straight into it.
Actually, they're kind of simultaneous, so you didn't know that.
Yeah, they're all simultaneous at the same time, but indeed, but we have a 3-person crew here, so
yep, we're all good,
which is nice. So don't have to worry about pressing the little keypad here,
Right.
like
I can do that.
like
And then it'll really screw things up.
Yes, I did not want you to touch the buttons just yet. We want to end the show early. We still won't have a full show,
Right.
despite the old man not being here.
Yeah, he may make a guest appearance. He thought he would be finished up at 5. He's out at the Historic Architectural Review Board, trying to make St. Augustine more beautiful and more functional. So go, Troy. Give him heck.
Indeed. All right, but we have a lot to talk about, though, Lenny. All right. So what topics do you have for the go around?
Well, you get to go first, because then I get mine right in back of you.
All right. So we have Project 2025.
Yeah, I'm waiting for Project 2029. If they can ever put a book together, but yeah, Project 2025.
All right.
The authoritarian blueprint of the takeover of the American government by the current administration, which they've been salivating over and writing for many years. And now that blueprint is coming to fruition. And there was a big chapter written by the chairman of the FCC.
Indeed.
Okay. Well, just remember, nothing goes away on the internet, because some of the things he said yesterday are running counter to what he said, and also run counter to what the president said in his second inaugural speech. So it's tough to figure out what's going on, or the sincerity of any of the words that are being spoken by any of these people, or people on the left. Either way, it's tough to tell somebody's sincerity, but you got to take them at their word. And, the other question is, actions speak louder than words. Well, we've seen the actions taken. So apparently the actions of the current administration are a little bit stronger than the words that were spoken by the president on his second inaugural. And again, we're going to have to parse those words, because when the president was inaugurated for the second time, he vowed to immediately stop all government censorship and bring back free speech in America. He went on to say, in his first term, he called cancel culture the very definition of totalitarianism. Now, somebody's going to turn around, and I'm sure if your father was here, was going to say the government didn't cancel anybody. It was a private business. Well, these private businesses have a tremendous amount of pressure on them. And again, we're about to see another major rule changed by the FCC as soon as, Carr decides that he has marching orders, which I'm sure he's gotten.
Yeah.
In the fact that there's going to be another major merger between Larry Ellison and his son, David, I believe is the young man's name, and he's probably not such a young man, because Larry Ellison's like 81.
Yeah.
And they've got boatloads and boatloads of money, and they are consolidating media empires. And it looks like they're in negotiation to buy HBO and Warner Brothers Discovery. Now, it's a lot of consolidation of a lot of media power in very few people. Along with that, whether it's Skydance or whoever the merger is, Senga, there are a bunch of media conglomerates that own a number of affiliate stations. There is currently, I believe, an FCC rule that no one entity can own more than 39% of the affiliates in the country, because that's too much consolidation of power in too small a handful. Well, if this deal goes through, or these deals go through, it's going to blow the 39% right out of the water. So don't be surprised in a couple of weeks when you see the FCC take a vote and change the percentage of ownership allowed by media companies. Pretty soon, you're going to turn on your TV and you're going to have your choice of one channel, or at least two channels, which will both have the same opinion. Now, Brendan Carr is on a little bit of thin ice. Because after and by the way, all this comes back down to the White House Correspondents' Dinner to begin with. That's what got Donald Trump so excited to run for president, when Barack Obama, in what may have been less than his infinite wisdom at the time, denigrated Trump publicly at that dinner, and Trump took great offense to it. He didn't storm out. He sat there. He fumed a little bit, but I will give him a lot of credit. The man didn't leave the room, didn't say anything, but you could see that that was the beginning of his desire to get much more involved in politics and run for president. But after the 2022 dinner,
but before that though, Trump was always saying like the big conspiracy theory around the time, like in 2011, was President Obama actually a U.S. citizen at the time, like
right?
Because I remember like when President Obama walked out. I believe like his like walk out music was "Real American" while he was showing his birth certificate in a joking way. So Trump is already like thrown out the birther conspiracy
He threw out a lot of conspiracies. He's been proven wrong as much as he's been proven right. Think of the Central Park Five. I mean, those guys have all been exonerated. And he went on a serious... you got to be from New York to understand a lot more about Donald Trump. The rest of the country never had the exposure to him that people in New York and the metropolitan area have had. But he went after the Central Park Five. He was convinced of their guilt, and he went on a... and we talk about prosecution. There's also persecution. So, people today are not being prosecuted. They're being persecuted in a lot of fields. But by that same token, Joe Biden said, look, good satire about our leaders, about our society is quintessentially an American thing. He said, basically, take a joke, and if you're angry about it, do it behind closed doors. I think, sadly, Donald Trump has very, very thin skin. I can't understand what it was Jeff Carl or whoever the CBS correspondent, I'm sorry, I think it was the ABC correspondent, asked him a question, and all Donald Trump said is, you know what, maybe you'll be next. And I'm paraphrasing, so please don't jump ugly. I'm paraphrasing. He said, you know what, he was talking about hate speech, I guess, and he said, well, I can tell that there's hate. You hate me. He's extrapolating from, a scenario or a statement, but he's saying, maybe you should be next because you hate me and that's hate speech and you should be gone and they should get rid of you. This is like the head of the White House press corps at this point in time, and he was asking a legitimate question to the president. Same thing. How does the president look good in mourning a despicable act and a very popular young man in the country when somebody asks his feeling on it, and he said, yeah, I'm okay, but look at what we're doing. We're building a ballroom that the country's needed for 120 years. The question was, how are you feeling? How are you mourning? That was an opportunity to say, it was a horrible thing. I'd like the country to come together, and he's talking about his construction project. Mm-hmm. And, Jimmy Kimmel made light of that, but they went after him because he was allegedly trying to misrepresent the political leanings of the assassin. And we'll call him an assassin because that's what the man was. But for that, he got thrown off the air. Yeah. But Brendan Carr, when Biden made those remarks, said, Biden is absolutely right. Political satire is one of the oldest and most important forms of free speech. It challenges those in power while using humor to draw more people in the discussion. That's why people in influential positions have always targeted it for censorship. He is now a person in an influential position, and he's targeting it for censorship. So you should go back and read his quotes from 2022, 3 years ago, and then try to make light and try to balance that out. So that's why I just claim hypocrisy. Cancel culture was horrible when it was being done from the left to the right. Now that the right is doing it to the left, they have no qualms about it. So, my mother would have an expression. She said, it's all a matter of whose ox is being gored. Well, when the Republicans were being canceled, they had major, major issues with it. When they're doing the canceling, they seem to have no problem with it. And that's, again, you can't jump like that to sweeping generalizations. It's not all Republicans writ large, and there are some Republicans that are pushing back on the censorship, on the cancellations, on the media conglomerations. It's like, and you got to wonder, because one of the reasons why ABC capitulated as quickly as they did, it's another merger that needs FCC approval that is going to go through. So these people are all working on their economics. So
yeah, because right now, like there's a possibility, like with the Nexstar Tegna merger, they have a possibility for like 80% of the reach.
Correct, and that's illegal right now.
Yeah, and no, between like the two companies, like they have like a lot of ABC affiliates as well. So to possibly lose out on like I know like not all the Nexstar and Tegna stations are ABC, but you probably have like let's say 25% of them, which is like 1/4 of the big networks. 25 of the networks, like 25% of like 80%. Like that, they won't get like the main ABC, which is not just like Jimmy Kimmel, and let's just say because you might lose out on Monday Night Football, you lose out on college football, you lose out on like 911, you lose out on a lot like potential like money making ventures for ABC and Disney, So they kind of had to put themselves like in a position like to think about like their other ventures rather than just sticking by with Jimmy Kimmel. I'm absolutely not defending the move by as well, but you have to think about like because unfortunately like college football is much more valuable than Jimmy Kimmel. Monday Night Football is more valuable than Jimmy Kimmel.
Sure, but give it 15 minutes and they'll all be on streaming platforms.
But there is a reason why ESPN launched their direct-to-consumer model to like because they're not sure how long broadcasting is going to last.
Right, and broadcast is on its way out. You're right.
Yeah, but they also mainly created because like young people like us, like young people like Aiden and I, like we watch our stuff on our phone. We don't have a cable subscription. Most young people now have YouTube TV. We have Hulu. We have Netflix. So and Disney just wanted to get into like the sports, like to make sure like their sports properties still get watched. Right. So that's why they created the ESPN direct to consumer model. However, like we were not, I personally was never a fan of Jimmy Kimmel. Like I probably say
he was mean spirited at a lot of the times.
And there's definitely times there that you could tell that he was like pandering to his audience, like Trump story.
But who doesn't pander to their audience?
No.
Blake? You know, you don't think the president panders to his audience? All you hear about is the base. The Democrats do it.
Yes.
The Republicans do it. The Stephen Colbert does it. Jimmy Kimmel does it. Fox News does it. You don't think Greg Gutfeld panders to his base?
No.
They all do.
Yeah.
It's not one side or the other. And that's what they're supposed to do. That's where they're getting the support from. So, you can't fault them for doing that. But by that same token, you can't blame somebody for doing what they're doing if you're doing the same thing. By that same token, people have pointed out, who is it? Megyn Kelly's off the air. Who's the other? Tucker Carlson's off the air. And both of them have landed very nicely on their feet with huge audiences on the internet, in whatever podcast or whatever venue they're doing it, whether they're streaming their own issues or whether they're doing podcasts. And I have the same idea that Jimmy Kimmel will be fine. He's not going to miss a meal. Hopefully he put some of his billions of dollars from his previous contracts away. So I don't think he's going to have to move out of his house.
Yeah.
Nor did Tucker Carlson, nor did Megyn Kelly.
No.
So, these people are being chastised for their opinions, but that's also what their job was. Megyn Kelly, she might have been more of a reporter. Tucker Carlson was an opinion person. So when you chastise him for his opinion, it's not right. That was his job. You didn't like what he had to say? So what? And again, all you have to do is change the channel or turn it off.
Yeah.
So, it's just... But the hypocrisy and the knives and the torches and the pitchforks coming out, again, this is a split country. 2.5 million people more voted for Donald Trump than voted for Kamala Harris. He didn't win a majority. He won a plurality. So, you can't go claiming moral high ground when the void is that small. And, independents are floating back and forth. So it depends the day of the week as well. Polling numbers are very inconclusive nowadays because it's tough to tell who's doing the poll, who's taking the poll, whether it's a Republican pollster, a Democratic pollster. So all the information has some type of bias to it. And it's very difficult to find anybody who is bias-free.
I do want to get your thoughts, Aiden, because you're in high school right now. Like, has anyone been talking about this in your school right now? Like, or most people just don't care. Right. Like about like people your age, your classmates don't care.
When you say this, do you mean what specific part of it, or do you mean just it as a whole?
Like, have your friends been talking? Like, have you heard anyone in your school mention Jimmy Kimmel? Or even have you heard I don't want to say teachers because I don't want your teachers get ratted out, but
right.
Have you heard anyone there at the school talk about Jimmy Kimmel, what's been going on, or
not really? I haven't heard anyone talking about it. I myself have brought it up among my peers because I find it beneficial to talk to other people about it and try to find their perspective. But besides when I'm bringing it up, I'm not hearing a whole lot of talk about it, not from teachers, not from students, not really anyone.
Well, it also just happened, so, it needs a little bit of time to percolate, but that's good, And again, somebody online just pointed out, Jimmy Kimmel will be fine. It's the 250 people on his staff that are now out of work. What about poor Guillermo? I hope he's been stockpiling tequila.
I know.
I mean...
I do think Kimmel's gonna be fine. I do think Guillermo's gonna be fine at some point as well. I do think some of the higher up staff, like the producers, directors, and the band's gonna be fine. But the writers are definitely gonna struggle. And plus, what's gonna be filled in that slot?
Well, right now I believe they're doing repeats of Jimmy Kimmel, if I'm not mistaken.
No, actually, no. They completely took him off the air.
Okay.
Because from last night they did like re-airings of like Celebrity Family Feud, and
Okay.
or like extended news broadcasts from like local stations.
Okay.
And actually Friday, Sinclair announced. I believe it was Sinclair that announced that on Friday they're going to be replacing Jimmy Kimmel's time slot with a tribute broadcast to Charlie Kirk.
Right.
So,
Sinclair, just for the record, is a very conservative-leaning broadcast network. They own a tremendous amount of stations, and they are conservative in their views.
mm-hmm. and I believe they almost went
Not
through
a bad thing. That's just a clarification so that you know who Sinclair Broadcasting is.
And they went through they tried to go through a similar merger back in 2017 with Tribune Media. They wanted to merge together to own like 72% of the market as well, but that deal fell through in 2018.
Because it was illegal.
Yeah, but that's the difference between, because think about 2017, 2018. That was the first Trump administration.
Right.
So Trump wasn't politicizing the federal agencies at this point yet. But now you see okay, so so now he knows like the insides of the government, and now he's able to use a political arms like the FCC, like non-political arms like the FCC to be political on his behalf.
Correct. He's replaced tremendous amount of the rank and file with people who have had to come up with an ideological purity or a loyalty test, and now he controls the government and the people in the government.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people that are keeping their head down and hopefully their powder dry for another day. And again, if there's another election and if a Democratic win, you get a Democratic Congress or a Democratic president in the future, this is a case of be careful what you wish for because you might just get it. And everything that the Trump administration is doing doesn't have an end date, except for the big, beautiful bullshit bill, which has, an end date of 2028 for some of the tax cuts and all the things, the largesse that he was doing and all the cuts that he was making, all expire when he leaves office. Yeah. So I think that was a very shrewd move. But now they're going to have to figure out what to do to replace that or fill that vacuum or void if that does happen. So, you'll see what happens. But, everything that they're setting up now between the nuclear option in the Senate to en masse appoint people that need Senate confirmation, advice, and consent from the Senate. They're doing them in large chunks now as opposed to individually. They used to do it that way by unanimous consent, but the Democrats aren't doing unanimous creation of the man show. Oh my goodness. Oh, good job, Bobby.
Don't look up Kimmel's Carl Malone skits. Don't look that up.
Well, but Bobby, you threw me right off track with that.
No, that if the man show aired today, it, first of all, it won't get aired.
Probably couldn't, right?
It probably couldn't get aired at all. So good luck trying to do a different version of that. But also it's funny enough how
well he came from that to where he is today.
Like from crudeness on the man show to being like the political grandstander standing on a soapbox on Jimmy Kimmel Live.
Yep.
So but future of late night though, because Kimmel's indefinitely off the air. Colbert's run is ending May 2026 for now.
That was September, but okay.
Yeah, but then you also have Fallon still going, Seth Meyers still going.
For now.
What
the president has called them out personally and by name to say, when are they next? There's a lot of pressure when the president of the United States calls you by name and says you should be off the air, and he's got control of all the levers of government, we just getting a little bit hungry here.
And I think sometime down the line, the president might pursue Congress to possibly regulate cable and streaming cable streaming.
It's possible, but right now you don't have a whole lot of opinion pieces or talk shows on cable or I'm not familiar with any that there are maybe. So what's his problem with the Great British Baking Show? It doesn't say American.
Not necessarily the Great British Baking Show, but shows like Last Week Tonight or Daily Show or right now South Park.
Right, which by the way didn't air last night. I guess for some reason they couldn't get their poop in a pile to do it, and they apologized.
Which even though they had a 2-week break, but however last week was the Charlie Kirk assassination. So but they probably couldn't have anything going on because because in season 2, in second episode of season 27, they had Cartman dress up as Charlie Kirk. So
Right, and Cartman did not win the Master Debater Award given out by the Charlie Kirk Society.
Yeah. Now,
and he was very upset. Poor Cartman was. I think he was robbed.
Yeah, but I know like immediately after after what happened, there was like calls for like his for South Park to be canceled. But if you actually heard Charlie Kirk speak about it, like to Fox News, he actually loved the South Park special on him because
more exposure.
Yeah, because yeah, but also they mentioned like people should be made fun of and should be like you gotta take one on the chin sometimes once in a while. So, but
right.
Plus also being made fun of South Park means you made it. So, hopefully one day.
And you know what? And I said it before. As soon as those boys sold their product to Paramount, they'll do what they want as long as they can. And if somebody takes it away from them, they got $2 billion. I don't think they're worried about their future right about now. And if for some reason Comedy Central yanks them off the air or they stop producing it, I think they'll be okay. I don't think they're going to miss a meal.
Well, that's definitely more power to Matt and Trey though. So like, they
gave themselves a golden parachute, no doubt about it.
Yeah, and
golden parachute.
And definitely the lawsuit's going to be fantastic as well.
I think they can afford a good attorney.
Yeah, indeed. All right, Lenny. So what else would you like to talk about today?
Well, you're talking about the Golden State Warriors or Steve Ballmer for some reason.
No. I'm
the
talking
Clippers.
The L.A. Clippers, owned by Mr. Steve Ballmer, who is who I believe still is like the 6th richest person in the world right now because the former CEO
changes by the week.
Fair enough.
I'm not on that list.
It depends on how much stock
Tesla stock goes.
Elon wants to buy.
Right.
But Steve Ballmer, the richest owner in all of sports right now, he owns the LA Clippers. So.
And was he from Microsoft originally?
Yes, he was the former CEO of Microsoft. So this came around I believe 2 weeks ago, where an investigative journalist, Pablo Torre, brought up this story where he looked through a partnership between the LA Clippers and this green bank company called Aspiration. They were like a green broker, which like for every dollar you put in, they plant a tree. Even though for them the tree only costs 2 cents.
No, that doesn't matter. It's the thought that counts. Yes, they're doing something.
Indeed. So they sell carbon credits for like corporations or people that if you travel a lot or you use a lot of carbon in your workplace.
Right, you got a private jet.
Yeah, if you have a private jet, they can offset your carbon credits and by planting all these fantastic trees somewhere in the world. So,
which will in 30 years from now lend results.
Yes. So LA Clippers and Aspirations signed this. So Aspirations signed this deal with the LA Clippers in 2021 for a $300 million deal for 23 years. Not for the naming rights, just to be a founding partner of this because they already had sponsorship with the Intuit Dome.
Okay.
However, though, in 2023, they were already under investigation by the FTC for like a whole lot. They've been investigated by the SEC. They've been investigated by
SEC.
Yes, the SEC, not the football conference.
No, not the FCC.
Sorry. The SEC, the CTFC, like a whole lot of organizations in the government. You do not want investigating you right now.
Digging through your trash.
And then eventually Aspiration filed for bankruptcy. So what Pablo Torre looked through was because he's mainly like a sports investigative sports journalist. Okay. Was he looked through the bankruptcy filings because Aspiration filed for bankruptcy, and he was able to see so Aspiration paid like millions of dollars to like celebrities they might think of as like eco-friendly. You have Robert Downey Jr. You have Leonardo DiCaprio.
Hang on 1 second. I hope I don't knock your train of thought off.
Yeah.
Does Iron Man need to get carbon credits?
Possibly.
Okay. Carry on.
There's definitely a lot of stuff that's burning when you need to make an iron suit. So.
Well, I was just wondering when he's flying around how that works.
Fair enough. Yeah.
Okay.
So Robert Downey Jr., Leonardo DiCaprio, Drake, I believe Cindy Crawford's daughter was paid by Aspiration to promote their product. However, though the highest paid deal was a member of the LA Clippers,
Okay.
and it was Kawhi Leonard.
Okay.
His deal was 4 years, $28 million. And there was also reports that he also got $20 million of Aspiration stock as well.
Well, that's not doing him any good in retrospect.
Now here's the thing. Steve Ballmer invested $50 million into the company after the deal came up as well. So Ballmer invested in the company in 2021, like December 2021. Kawhi signed the deal in April of 2022. Now with like a endorsement deal, like, so it was actually surprisingly, so Kawhi's $28 million deal is actually more than his sneaker deal with New Balance.
Okay.
So because like most athletes, like their biggest deal is like a main brand, like a Mountain Dew or a shoe company, but not necessarily like your highest deal being like a tree planting bank. But however, Pablo Torre was able to go through the contract, and he was able to see that Kawhi Leonard doesn't have to do anything in the contract and still get paid. There was a line in his contract that says, Leonard does not have to do anything that doesn't align with his personal beliefs and can refute everything, but still receive the quarterly payments that he receives to reach $7 million a year.
How do we get one of those contracts?
I wish I was.
I'm not tall enough to slam and/or dunk.
And Torrey did a lot of interviews with former executives of Aspiration under anonymity, and they literally said, yeah, this was a no-show job that was signed off by the former president by the former president of Aspiration, Andre Cherney. So there was a lot of that. But unfortunately, though, despite all the funding that they had in their banks, they missed out on a lot of payments because they already blown through a lot of Steve Ballmer's investments.
Wow.
They blown a lot of that. And so when it came time to actually paying Kawhi the contract, there was reports that Ballmer and there was reports that Ballmer, the team fund and the vice owner of the Clippers, Dennis Wong, invested money in time so that Kawhi could get paid, which means a lot of people are now thinking that the Aspiration deal was used for the Steve Ballmer and the Clippers to circumvent the NBA salary cap.
Possible. I just don't know why they didn't just, once Aspiration went bankrupt, tell Kawhi Leonard, you had 20. Well, how much stock did they give him? A boatload, right?
Yeah, I believe they gave him a boatload, like $20 million worth of stock as well. But
if that became worthless,
yeah,
why didn't he use that to balance his tax bill on his salary?
Yeah,
and he could have been just fine.
Yeah. So and by the time the bankruptcy files were reported, it's in the document that Kawhi was still owed $7 million, and actually because as the story came out, there's been like a lot more stories from like other reporters in Los Angeles, Toronto, where he used to play for, Leonard used to play for the Raptors, and they actually said that his representative, his uncle Dennis Robertson, he actually wanted teams to give him like stakes in like other organizations, like if Kawhi wanted to stay in Toronto, the Maple Leaf organization that owns the Raptors and the Maple Leafs, Kawhi wanted a stock in like the Maple Leaf organization, and then plus like other like endorsement deals that are legal for the team to offer to a new free agent.
I also think it's a foolish move because if he's a free agent, unless you're locking him into a 15-year contract, you're going to give this guy stock in your organization, and in 2 years from now he's going to get another free agent deal and be playing for the Knicks or the Pacers. So why would you do something like that? It seems like a bad business move.
And there was actually a clause in the original agreement with Kawhi and Aspiration and with his LLC KL2 Aspire, which is
okay.
Yeah, so that was the original name of the LLC that Kawhi created to get the money from Aspiration. It's in the contract that this contract can be voided once Kawhi no longer plays for the LA Clippers.
Okay.
So it was
an out clause.
So it was in the contract though. So
okay.
that was a lot of steps up, but a lot of people are like denying this as well. You have Mark Cuban, which is the big one, but because he says like, oh, Steve Ballmer would never do this. He's such a smart guy. He invested. He does a lot of due diligence.
Yeah.
The former president Andre Cherney said this was this definitely wasn't a no show job.
Was not a no-show job.
Yes.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. So there's a lot of stuff going on.
Did he go out and plant any trees?
There was reports that he might have,
Okay,
but not enough to validate the
$20 million,
the $28 million he may or may not have received, and actually now there's possibilities that Ballmer might be involved with the federal government's investigation because if there's reports that
as a cooperating witness or as somebody being investigated.
Like possibly more like a witness, but
Okay.
but also if he's investing into the company, but only for like the intent of paying his superstar athlete, then like, instead of like paying off people that might need more debts than the guy you just need to pay like right now.
Right.
Then
Well, that's always, the biggest debtor is on the top and the smallest debtors are on the bottom and get nothing.
Indeed.
So, but Steve Ballmer, I think, is an exceedingly bright individual. And he also has a newsletter called USA Facts.
Yes.
I believe it comes out once a week, and it's theoretically unbiased and nonpartisan, and it's got a lot of good information.
Yeah.
So,
yeah,
he's trying.
Yeah. So Aiden, your thoughts about the whole Kawhi Leonard, Steve Ballmer situation?
I mean, sounds like Kawhi has a great deal going on. I mean, I would like one of those contracts. It doesn't have to be $26 million. I'll take whatever they want to give me if they just want to have me plant a couple of trees or whatever. But
Sure.
I mean, with Ballmer, shouldn't he? I mean, it's strange that he made this kind of deal with the kind of experience he has in the area. He's clearly a good investor. He clearly knows what he's doing.
I mean,
why would he do something like this? I think there has to be a bigger end goal than what's being shown.
I believe it's definitely possible, like because Tori's mentioned like because two things can be true at once, like Steve Ballmer could known that he was investing into he truly believed that they need to offset your credits because he made when he built the Intuit Dome. He he made sure that they had to build like the most environmentally friendly arena in the NBA.
Does it have a sod roof?
No, not yet. I don't think so. But do like a lot of stuff like to make sure that is like carbon neutral and all that. Mm-hmm. But you can also we can also still funnel money into a company to pay your star player to make sure that you can get like another guy involved to win a championship for a team.
Now that is probably the best thing I've heard. He's using this to pay Kawhi because the salary cap doesn't allow it. That would be the best thing. That would probably be the best explanation for this, because a guy with that kind of experience doesn't blow that much money on something that's not going to at least have a little bit of success.
Yeah. So
you would have thought that they would have done a little bit more due diligence on the survivability of Accenture.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, but of course on that, so Clippers deny all wrongdoing. They Steve Ballmer went on ESPN a week ago to talk about saying he got scammed out of his money. So still ongoing. The NBA opened up an investigation on it, and so we'll see how this goes. So, but the last time the NBA seen a salary cap circumvention was back in 2000 with former #1 overall pick Joe Smith with the Minnesota Timberwolves. Because Joe Smith got two 1 year $1 million deals. But under the table, the Timberwolves wanted. Timberwolves said, okay, if you sign these two 1 year deals, actually 3 1 year deals for $1 million, eventually down the line we'll make sure that you get a 7 year, $86 million deal. But you had to because some bird rights stuff. But the NBA found out about it, and then so immediately afterwards, Joe Smith's contract was voided. Minnesota Timberwolves were fined $3.5 million. They lost 3 of their first round picks, and general manager Kevin McHale and owner Glenn Taylor were suspended for a year. So we'll see once the investigation's done if there's any true wrongdoing in these investigations. We'll see what the punishment is, because because of how much inflation is, the punishment's going to be $7.5 million and 4 first round picks.
And 4 first round picks. There you go. And you'll never have a first round pick ever.
Yeah.
But
But funnily enough, like that, I think for like $7.5 million for Steve Ballmer, that's like $10 for my dad.
Right. Speaking of which, I will channel your father for just a minute, and his answer to this entire planting trees, carbon. It says, not going to matter. Doesn't matter. It's a hill of beans, and we can all exhale for 5 years, and we won't affect anything because the human contact or the planet warming is not a whole big deal. So I hope your father feels he was represented here today.
Yeah. And do you have a lot of basketball fans at your school, or?
I don't really know. I'm not really a huge basketball fan, so I'll never find myself talking about it.
Yeah, me and you
of
both.
course, there's going to be basketball fans there. I'll see guys wearing Celtics jerseys and whatnot, but most of them probably don't know about this or really what's going on. They probably focus more on their team and probably don't go into the financials of it that much.
Right. If you're not doing the business of basketball, you're not going to be aware of this. And even if you are a regular basketball fan and even a Clippers fan, you might not know.
Yeah, but for like the sports that we watch, like we watch NFL, we watch football, we watch baseball, like with the NFL and Major League Baseball, they have like luxury taxes, but not as like severely punishable if you go over it compared to like the NBA though. So we'll see how it goes and
you know, and if the punishments are draft choices, that's one thing. If it's a financial penalty, you know, these guys will go fine. How many zeros do I need on the check here? Next.
But I think the most I think the most important thing in this investigation is what did Kawhi Leonard know about the deal? Because if he and his uncle Dennis, which is his main representative, and his agent, like gave out and said like in my deal I want to make sure I have like extra money and like this endorsement where I don't have to work anything. If that's officially confirmed, then I believe that he might be suspended from the league, like, or maybe possibly banned for life.
Okay. Well, the other aspect of it is why couldn't they just get him another endorsement deal? And you know, he says 5 words in front of 2 TV cameras for 5 commercials, and he can get his $7 million that way.
Because like the big thing in this deal, because the big thing is NBA prohibits like the teams from offering the endorsement deals, like the players had to get the endorsement deals like on their own terms.
Well, that's why you need a good agent.
Yes.
So
indeed.
Anyway, all right, Blake, let's switch. I'm going to put you on the spot here. Let's switch gears a little bit.
I've been sitting here the entire time.
Okay. No. I didn't say switch seats, switch gears. You racing fan, you 24 hours of Daytona. Are you wearing your Rolex watch? I'm telling you, you're a gearhead. I know it. You really are.
I have Mickey Mouse on my watch, man.
Okay, well, that's fine. As long as it's not a Mickey Mouse watch.
Yeah,
it's a fancy one. Ooh, that's pretty.
But I probably should be participating in this protest right now by changing the watch.
Yeah. What protest?
Oh, the boycott Disney because free Jimmy Kimmel.
Yeah, fine. See how that goes over. You know, the thing that fascinates me on that, but then I have a very serious question for you. You know, Bob Iger has got some power.
Yes.
He runs Disney. He came back to salvage Disney after the other guy screwed up everything with the state of Florida and made some bad comments about DEI or woke or whatever that was. And Bob Iger had to step back in and right the ship. I don't know if he's got it in less rocky waters, and apparently, you know, the Jimmy Kimmel thing is you know, again, roiling the waters to a degree. But, you know, the fact that it fascinates me that corporations of this size, Harvard University, Columbia University, Disney, who else was it? ABC and CBS are all caving for the expediency and the fact that their deals, which should be insulated from this type of pressure, need to go through. But the external pressure and the political pressure, which should not be involved in this, but you know, we're all human, so we all put our mishigas into the mix. You would think that they would stand up, step back, and say no. You know, their attorneys are as good as the Justice Department attorneys, possibly better. But they're all caving because it's expedient, and the money is not going to change anybody's end of the day bottom line salary. And it's the people in general who are going to either miss out on content or miss out on opinions or have things curtailed. But that's not what I wanted to ask you. Mm. You've been seeing a lot of movies lately, Blake.
Yes, I have.
I want some thumbs up or thumbs down. I want you to be Siskel and Ebert. I want you to review us some of the movies that you've seen, because you've seen, to the best of my count, 6 or 7 movies in the last week and a half.
All right, let's see.
Let's hear what you have to say on those, because a couple of them are,
Let me pull up the AMC app right now. So
Okay.
So what I have is the AMC A-list subscription, which is $27 a month, and I can see up to like 4 movies a week, which is around 16 movies a month. Let me go and turn off my Siri for some reason.
As opposed to those of you who are local in St. Augustine, don't forget Epic Theater on Tuesday does $6 movies all day.
Yes.
Big fan of that.
I got a question, Blake. For
What's
that subscription, I don't think there are movies coming out that quick where you can even make that profitable for yourself, or good movies at least.
There are some good movies that are out right now, so let's see. So where would you like me to start?
Pick a movie, any movie.
All right, so recently, so this came out last week, which is The Long Walk, which is
That was
based.
the one I was going to ask. Go.
Yeah, which is based off the Stephen King novel of the same name, where basically in a dystopian U.S. In a dystopian U.S. past.
Past?
Yes.
Okay.
It was in the past, but the U.S. government set up a competition between 50 teens to walk as long as they can. The last one stands is the winner, and they get like a lot of money and whichever wish they want.
Okay.
And it brought like a lot of emotion to because the concept of like this event is simple but deadly because if you drop out of the race you get shot.
So how many people did this walk?
50 teens.
So 50 teens, boys and girls?
Just boys.
Okay. So 50 young men were walking until they couldn't walk anymore, and when they couldn't walk, they were shot and killed.
Yes, correct.
Okay, well, that's just ugly.
Yes. Yeah, it was ugly. It was ugly just to think about like a potential alternate universe where this is happening, and also they said like it's televised to the entire nation as well.
So it's a variation of the Hunger Games.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, it was, but there was it definitely got you on your toes, I was reclining back in my recliner.
It was uncomfortable to watch.
Yes, there were times that it was uncomfortable to watch, like knowing like at any moment the character that you want to root for,
Right, okay,
your
guy ain't gonna make it,
was going to go down. And a little bit of spoilers: the main person that they're focusing on, it finished the second.
Oh, so close.
Yeah, but then the other secondary character avenges his death by killing the major.
Okay, so now you don't have to go see the movie. Thank you for that spoiler alert. Trust me, I wasn't going to see it anyway.
Yeah. So, but it really was a good movie though for what for how long it was only like an hour 40. So
Okay.
Yeah. So it was a really great movie. There was a lot of emotions with the young actors. They definitely have like a future in Hollywood. So
Okay.
So, but it was great. Aiden, I do think you might reach mile marker 50, but then you might cramp up all of a sudden and you get shot.
Now you would reach mile marker 10 if we're just naming numbers now.
Yes.
Now, boys, play nice. Come on.
Hey,
you didn't have to attack me like that. I've just been sitting back here doing my job. Oh, this guy wouldn't make it past 50.
Fair enough. I probably would reach 20, and then I'll go down.
Well, hopefully neither of you are ever in a position where that will be an eventuality.
And plus, don't worry. This is me attacking you is definitely much more civil than what happened on Wednesday's show. No, when it was a Tuesday show that both of you guys just started yelling at each other for 10 minutes.
Well, that's what we do. That's how we show our love. Or as Amanda typified it properly on the morning show the other day, we're passionate.
Yes, you guys were passionate.
So?
But yeah, but I definitely do see my dad like not understanding your passion more compared to like me because when
I'm for obvious reasons. You're his son, first off.
What?
No. Blake is saying that Troy doesn't understand me and Blake does. Is that what you were saying?
Yes.
Yeah, I thought so.
I didn't. I thought you were saying that your dad would be more compassionate to you. I was like, well, obviously.
I'm definitely more compassionate to my dad outside of Bollocks, but on Bollocks, I'm more compassionate to Lenny than my dad.
Thank you.
Because I remember Wednesday, when he had an argument when he was saying like, how was Trump acting like a dictator? What was the first thing he yelled?
Oh, I don't remember. That
Tariffs.
was Wednesday. Yeah, exactly. Right. Because he's overstepping his presidential authority.
Yes.
And he's claiming everything's an emergency.
Yes.
Goodness. And
for those who may have noticed Lenny's sigh right there, he just got a New York Times notification on his iPad.
Yeah.
The ultra liberal you are, Lenny. Would you like to tell the people?
11 Democrat elected officials were arrested after demanding access to ICE's detention center in someplace.
Let's see. I think I got the same notification as well.
Let's see.
But yeah. So anyway,
detention cells
in New York.
That's what I'm looking to see. Probably. Yeah, because it was the New York City Public Advocate. So I mean, now Congress people have oversight. I don't know that the public advocate in New York City has the right to get in there, but it's, there's some question about how those detention centers are being handled, and it's an economy of scale. They're jamming a lot of people into them as quickly as possible and then moving them as far away as possible so that the people that are in detention don't necessarily have immediate access to either their family, their attorneys, or people know where they are. Mm-hmm. So it's a game of cat and mouse or whack-a-mole kind of thing, and it's both ways. Yeah. I mean, it's whack-a-mole for the federal government that's looking for the people that they're trying to get, and it's whack-a-mole once somebody gets caught up to find out where they've been taken. Mm-hmm. And I think part of that, in all candor, is just an economy of scale. There's so many people and so many detainees being moved around the country that it's tough to keep track of everybody because we should be a little bit better, but until they start putting hospital bracelets with barcodes on people's wrists, which I think they very well may be doing, because that would be the easiest way to take accounting. But got another movie?
Yeah.
Before we get back off track?
Yeah. Another movie that I watched was Spinal Tap 2 in
there
IMAX.
You go. Turn it up to 11.
Indeed. They intentionally released this on the 41st anniversary.
Right.
So we're just fitting enough to turn it up to 11. So yeah, obviously I was too young to watch the original Spinal Tap when it came out in theaters. I rewatched it, I think, on like Pluto TV.
Okay.
But I understood like where like popular comedies like The Office and Parks and Recreations gets like the style of like the mockumentary. Like that style. Like I get to see that like some like the original inventors of that genre right there. So it was a great time. They also had like cameos from Paul McCartney, Elton John, Questlove, Lars Ulrich, and Chad from Red Hot Chili Peppers. So they brought like a lot of stuff on they brought a lot of like heavy hitters on the show, on the movie. So yeah, but it was a great time as well. But one of the movies I think it was last week that I watched. Was this movie called Twinless? Right. It was about a brother. It was about a guy who used to be who had a twin brother, but unfortunately, who unfortunately died and joined this support group. Then I met up with this guy, who also said that he also lost a twin brother as well, and it brought like a lot of it brought like a lot of emotion about like connection between family, like how to properly grieve, and like what's like the best way to grieve with others, even though the person may not want your grief as well. It brands itself as like a dark comedy, but there was some funny moments in there, but it was like a little bit more of like an emotional movie, like in that sense. Okay. So.
And didn't you see any superhero movies? Did you start this with Superman? And
I did start this with Superman. Like that was my first movie I watched with the subscription. It was a great it definitely was like a great refresh for DC Studios in my personal opinion. Good. But then I also saw the Batman double feature.
There you go.
In like the Dolby Cinema format, which is like honestly, besides IMAX, it's probably the best way to watch in movies. It's the best way because they have like the dual 4K projectors. They have like the Dolby Atmos surround sound, which you can hear like every single conversation,
Right, the crowd noise.
Yeah, like if you see like a gunshot behind you get to hear it in like the back of the auditorium, which is like super
Right.
pinpoint, super accurate. It's definitely a great way to watch like films, and like if you know that there's gonna be a film that has like a lot of color, like all that, it's like you get to see like each like flower petal clearly.
Like when Dorothy gets to Oz.
Yes.
Okay.
And like that's a whole nother story besides like talk about like Dorothy, the Wizard of Oz at the Sphere.
Ooh, baby, I'm looking forward to that.
There's a lot of debate about if you actually want to. There's a lot of debate if you actually want to go see the Sphere, see the Wizard of Oz at the Sphere, because there's a lot of debate about if because they use like a lot of like graphics, they use a lot of AI to help like regenerate the image for like how large of a screen the inside of the Sphere is to make the Wizard of Oz look great. And
Well, they had actually AI outside of it, because there's a scene where Uncle Henry's not in the scene in the broadcast movie or the original movie, but then he shows up there. So
and actually, from what is it true that they actually shortened down the movie to like they took off like 20 minutes of the film to make it fit for because it wouldn't be like too much for them.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, but also isn't like $200 for a ticket?
It's over $100, and they're selling about 20,000 tickets a day, which is what it holds. And they're making, I think I did the math, I think they're selling $2 million of tickets a day. You do the math again. What's 20 times 2,000?
20 times.
I'm sorry, 20,000 times 100.
20,000 times 100. That's around 2 million.
Yeah, so they're selling 2 million a day, which is basically they're selling the auditorium every day.
Yeah. Aiden, thoughts about the Wizard of Oz at the Sphere?
Sounds like a ripoff. Not paying $100+ movie dollars to go see a movie that's on a bigger screen. And they're using AI.
They got an indoor twister. The tree throws apples at you. The leaves are blowing past your head. I'm just telling you.
Now you've really sold me on flying to Vegas and paying $100-something to go see The Wizard of Oz. I can see it on TV for just as much. I can have someone throw apples at me, and
I'll do that for you. No problem.
Probably calling a favor. Have that for free too.
Yeah, but
we'll get our air brooms and we'll get you a twister going too, Aiden. Don't you worry.
Yeah. So, but I definitely do want to go see like an actual big movie theater. I want to go to like AMC Lincoln Square at some point because they have like the largest IMAX screen in the US because they also have like the 70 millimeter film, which is like the Christopher Nolan standard. If you actually want to go see like Interstellar there, or if you want to go see like a re-airing of Oppenheimer, that's like the place you gotta go like to see in like the 70 millimeter format. I know there's a 70 millimeter theater in Fort Lauderdale.
Okay.
But that's like I believe that's like the Museum of Science in like Fort Lauderdale though. That's the thing.
That's why I was so disappointed when they got rid of the one that was in the Golf Hall of Fame. That one was incredible. I went to see the Star Wars movie. Rise of Skywalker, whatever it was.
Wait, hold on.
Pretty good.
The World Golf one was 70 millimeters.
It was an IMAX.
I thought it was digital.
I don't quite remember. I just know it had great quality. Yeah. I can't remember exactly what it was, but even then, I'm pretty sure it was. But it was a pretty cool thing to have. I know they have the one at Epic now, and I went to see my favorite movie, Interstellar. I went to see the 10-year re-release at the IMAX in Epic, and it was still cool. It was really cool to see it on a big screen, but it's just since there's no actual IMAXs within driving distance, really, it's kind of I get what Blake's saying.
And I have a problem with IMAX theaters. I went and saw one of the Batmans on the IMAX theater. I don't think, it might have been at the World Golf Village, as a matter of fact. And I just, it wasn't for me. The curved screen wasn't working, the whole thing. It was just, it was uncomfortable.
What I don't like least favorite movie experience is 3D. I really don't
No.
understand how anyone enjoys that. I feel like it ruins it for me. You got the glasses are so
Glasses, yeah.
uncomfortable on your face, and it's jumping out at you and all, but
Yeah.
it's
And-
not that
And
cool.
and actually the IMAX 3D glasses are actually much bigger than like the standard version, which is like the real 3D glasses. So they're actually a lot bigger as well.
Yeah, the ones in IMAX were like actual glasses that they would like recycle, and
Right.
then there's the other ones. They're like the cardboard ones that you throw out. Those terrible. They don't stay on your face. They're not worth it. You're paying like $10 extra for it. It's just not worth it at all.
Yeah. All right, Lenny, we have reached the
Blake,
end of the show.
Aiden, gentlemen, thank you very much. It's a very delightful show.
Thank you so much. And a real quick pick for tonight. Tonight's Thursday night football game. Dolphins Bills. What
I'm
we have?
saying Buffalo, the line came down to 12 last I looked, and I'm thinking that's probably a safe bet.
All right.
I don't know. Maybe Miami will remember how to play football tonight. I'm not quite sure.
All right.
They've got the horses. I just don't know if they're able to ride them as well. And for Blake and myself, have a lovely week next week.
All right.
Because we will not be here.
Indeed, I will indeed be Ireland. I will be Irelanding it up. So next week it's going to be my dad and Amanda.
Yep.
Here in the chair for Bollocks this evening.
Yep.
And but also Aiden, you're going to be in the booth for producing the morning shows. So how you feeling right now? Training in the back.
I mean, buttons are pretty easy to press. It's just really remembering when to press them and all that kind of stuff. I'd like to circle back to the Thursday night football because I was excited to make my pick. Buffalo to win, but I think if the line's 12, give me Miami. I think they'll keep it within 10. I don't think they're going to get blown out that bad.
Fair enough.
Yeah, no, I'm fine with that bet as well. Then, but yeah, I think I'm agreeing with you. But if it's just the money line, Buffalo. But again, the points I will say Dolphins. All right, 6:00. See you around,
We'll
guys.
see you guys
Thank
in a
you.
week.